Professor Lau's blocking us. He's using us as the world's least efficient error-checking routines. He slapped his palm against his forehead. It's not even like he doesn't believe the system. You heard him the other day. We're doing this on the off chance we're missing something. That's what he said. I could have done this on Earth. What's the point of even being up here? Arda stared at Tony, disapproval building on his face. I thought you wanted to do your thesis project on long-period comets. He tapped at a virtual keyboard and brought up a close-up of a dense comet with a long wispy tail. It's not insane that you would be assigned to do data analysis on solar system comets. You're missing the point. Tony lifted his arm and swept away half his data windows. Look, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I want to do analysis work. However, I don't want to do glorified error checking for stupid algorithms. I'm supposed to be training to be a scientist? And this is part of science. Arda stared at the comet image. It's funny when you think about it. How is it funny? You find our valuable time being wasted amusing? I'm sure the Vand Foundation doesn't throw around academic grants for graduate students to do pointless busy work. Arda shook his head, turning away from the picture with a smile. No, not this work. You and me being here. That's what's funny. Tony sighed, doing his best not to show his annoyance to the other student. I have no idea what you're talking about. Care to explain? Think about it. Arda brought up a three-dimensional image of a long-period comet with an elliptical orbit that had it spending thousands of years away from anything in the inner solar system at a time. See this one? C-stroke 1822N1. Tony read off the image's legend. Judging by the data, still on its way out, with its next closest run around the 7th millennium. He smirked. I think I'll be done with my data analysis by then. Arda gave his head a weary shake, his eyes betraying his disdain for Tony's thought process. When it was last closest to Earth, we'd barely begun mastering electricity. Coal trains were the epitome of transportation technology. He stood and gestured broadly. In the few centuries on its way out, we've gone from mastering the land to the skies and even space. We've left our home planet and system. We've spread across the stars and run into aliens. Yeah? So? Tony shrugged. Technology and humanity march on. That's why we run Earth and not penguins or those little bastard koala bears. That's just it. Arda sank back into his seat. We have colonies 50 light-years away, but in our home system, we've never sent a person farther than Sedna. Of all these comets you're complaining about, what percentage have we even sent probes to? Tony blinked as he thought about the implications. You're right, but that's why I wanted to do something with long-period comets. I know all the sexy research is exosystem work, let alone the ton of people trying to do remote analysis work on alien systems. But here, the mystery's still waiting for us, even if Lal's got us wasting time being pointless. He narrowed his eyes as he focused on his screen. What the hell? That's not right. Excuse me? There's no reason to talk that way to me. Not you, Arda. Tony licked his lips and pointed at one of his remaining data windows. It was nothing but columns and numbers, but both knew how to interpret time series comet orbital data. Then what? That's not right! Tony shouted, his eyes bulging. He summoned 3 new data windows, all filled with more specific data on a particular comet. His eyes darted back and forth as he continued entering commands. It couldn't be what he thought. What's going on? Arda asked. Give me a minute. I'm trying to figure something out. Arda rolled his eyes and folded his arms. Tony might have annoyed the other student, but if what he was seeing in front of him was accurate, he'd have a far more exciting thesis subject. There was one minor problem with his plan for scientific glory. Oh, damn it, Tony moaned. I'm going to have to admit to Professor Lal that he was right to make me do this. Arda leaned closer to the screen. What are you seeing? Tony jabbed his finger at a data window. Don't you get it? 100,000-year period on this baby. It's not super close at about 1,000 AUs out from us right now, about twice as far as Sedna. But you see this? He pointed to several numbers. These aren't just orbit variations. These are orbital changes from the basic expected orbit, all within the last couple of months. That's impossible. Comets just don't abruptly change course. Arda shrugged.